Hi, in this video I'm going to reveal a list I've prepared of my top 10 favourite Sonic games, and I'm going to give a short explanation of each of my choices. Number 10 is Sonic 06. I know this is somewhat of a controversial choice considering the hate towards the game, but I do see some good in it. The soundtrack is undeniably unforgettable, with classics such as Crisis City and Wave Ocean. Also, I like the diversity in the scenery, which ranges from oceans to volcanoes and jungles to underwater bases. On top of that, while the ending of the storyline is a bit of a disappointment, I really enjoyed it throughout the course of the game. I loved how all the events intertwine, and in my opinion, Mephiles is the scariest of all the villains in the Sonic universe. Number 9 is Shadow the Hedgehog. Probably another unpopular opinion, but Shadow is my favourite character, so I'm bound to like a game where he is the main playable character. I'll admit that the addition of guns to the game was a little bit cheesy, but it does add to the dark atmosphere and themes of the game. I like the level designs, but what makes the game for me is the player choice between hero, dark and neutral. This choice not only allows the player to make up their own minds about Shadow's indeterminate origin, but also allows for a lot of enjoyable replayability. Number 8 on the list is Sonic Advance 3. This was the first handheld Sonic game I ever played, so this choice is a bit of a nostalgia vote. However, I do enjoy the character teaming system, where the player takes direct control of one character, and the choice of teammate affects the player's character's abilities and team actions. I also really like the soundtrack for this game. My favourite was Sunset Hill. I think my favourite secondary character was Tails, because if you ever got stuck and needed to get up somewhere high, you could use the team action and Tails would fly you wherever you had to go. Number 7 is Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. I bet a lot of you will stop watching this video because of this choice, but I honestly love this game. I'm not blind to the repetitive and slow combat system or the blocky graphics and hordes of pointless consumables, but I think the story makes up for this. I enjoyed the fact that your choice of reply could alter the situations to a certain degree. For example, Amy talks about her boyfriend Dexter right from the start, but if you act cute towards her, she ends up admitting that Dexter isn't real and the two of you arrange a date. That's good for the Sunny Amy fans. I also liked the introduction of the Nocturnus clan of echidnas and the unveiling of the fact that it was they who designed the Gizoids. The choice of characters and team moves were interesting too. Number 6 is Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. This may seem like a bit of a random choice, but Zero Gravity is easily the best game in the Riders series. It has the best collection of extreme gears, courses, characters, and of course there's the gravity control, which allows you to discover hidden paths and take advantage of pathways on the walls and ceiling. The tricking was also made much easier than the first Riders game, and they removed trick names, which means there will be no more sexy moves coming from Rouge. Thank you very much. Number 5 is Sonic Generations. Although this game doesn't have too deep a story of its own, it was a great choice from the SEGA and Sonic team. The game puts exciting new spins on classic Sonic levels such as Green Hill, Chemical Plant and City Escape. I enjoyed the skill system where you could buy skills from the shop and equip them with skill points. You could also unlock the elemental shields from Sonic 3 by completing particular challenges throughout the game. The final boss was a bit awkward, but it was double the fun with 2 Supersonics. Number 4 is Sonic Battle. Again, this may seem like a random or strange choice, but this game deserves to be here. It's fun, fast, has a cool story, and literally had me in tears when I first finished the game's story when I was like 10. The game introduces a robotic playable character called Emerald, who Sonic so cleverly named after the word emerald. Emerald is a Gizoid, a piece of super ancient technology which has the ability to gain skills it observes being used, so it has massive potential to be a killer robot. However, as Emerald is given more Chaos Emeralds, he seems to become more enlightened and starts feeling emotions, and the story gets really deep. But I won't spoil the ending for you in case you haven't played it yet, which you should because it's really fun and very well made. My third favourite Sonic game is Sonic Heroes. This is the first Sonic game I ever played, but it's not just nostalgia that brings Sonic Heroes to number 3. The fast and strategic gameplay is complemented by a fantastic soundtrack and a wide array of interesting locations. The levels were of a substantial length and were all unique, and the gimmicks in the game mix things up when you aren't expecting it. Things like giant cannons, bobsleighs, and the Be the Ball pinball machines. The gameplay focuses on controlling a team of 3 characters and completing certain objectives. Each team has different playstyles and objectives. Within each team there is a speed, power and fly type character who possesses unique abilities which are sometimes essential to progress, but other times can simply provide an alternative route or give some sort of advantage like finding hidden items. The only thing I didn't like about the game was the notoriously difficult tube running, orb collecting special stages, but I can put up with them for the sake of the rest of the game. What a coincidence that Sonic 2 is number 2 on my list. No, but really I meant to put it here. It's just such a great game. Its length and soundtrack are fantastic, and of course, this is the game that introduced Tails and the correct number of Chaos Emeralds. The levels are unforgettable and brilliantly designed. The final boss was a good challenge, even though it was really frustrating. Then, when Sonic almost dies from falling from space, Tails catches him with his plane. So if Sonic had never met Tails, he could have died. Think about that. My number one favourite Sonic game is Sonic Unleashed. Please don't hate me for this choice, I promise I can justify it. Despite all the negative attention surrounding the whole werehog concept, I thought it was great. It was so radically different from the norm, and the change made the gameplay very intriguing. Before Sonic Unleashed, I had never played a beat-em-up style game, and I think this is a great game to start off with if you do want to play games like that. I think what ultimately makes this game for me though is a combination of three things. Number one, you get to travel the whole world and discover some stunning scenery and interesting cultures. Number two, the information gathering and deciding where to go next made the game feel very immersive, and I liked that. It felt like an RPG at times because of this, and the levelling up system, which in fact is quite similar to Dark Souls, in that you choose when and how to level up. You'll level up individual stats according to what you feel you need, so your experience points get put to good use. Number three, the graphics are just outstanding. The motion blur and the colours are simply gorgeous, and I think it's quite shallow to like a game purely for its graphics, but the game as a whole offers so much more in other areas that I feel I can forgive myself for adoring its graphics so much. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're a Sonic fan, old or new, leave a comment and let me know what you think of my list. See you next time.